What's up YouTube, it's Winfrey back with another video for you guys, and I know I've only posted twice last week. I've been grinding, doing some things, and again I don't have a ton of time, so I can't force time to make videos because it's just simply not a priority to me. This is just a hobby, something I'm doing for fun. With that being said, I usually do have a little bit of time on Sunday afternoon and time on Monday to crank out some videos for you guys. And man, this week was a banger in Madden. I had a lot of things that I wanted to do, a lot of things that would have made for some good content, but again, just not having time to edit. I could have had time to film, but to edit the videos is a different story. That takes a little bit of time. And I was trying to soak up all the playing time I could and doing everything that I could over the course of this weekend with friends and stuff. But regardless, Copper drop this week. The second installment is gonna be insane. I don't make exceptions. Every single week we're gonna be doing the same exact thing. But I actually wanted to ask any of you guys watching, if you wanted to watch this consistently, would you rather it be one long video like it was like a 35-minute video last week with timestamps, or would you rather me have separate videos for different things when they come out? So for example, when Team of the Week comes out on Tuesday I try to get out a video reviewing Copper drop for those cards, and then on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, etc. I would do that for those cards that week if you wanted me to. Or would you rather me just do it all in one video so you can click through in one video and find what you want? My thought is just to do it in one video, because if not, that would be videos on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm sorry, it would be on Tuesday. Yeah, Monday for over the weekend, Tuesday for Team of the Week, Wednesday for wild cards, Thursday for limiteds, and then Friday for the 50. And those would pretty much be the only videos on my channel. So I'm thinking I'm gonna stick to just once a week and reviewing everything and just being a little longer and time stamping it. But with that being said, this week, because of all the content we got, I'm actually going to be doing two separate videos. One of them is going to be Copper drop for the standard stuff that comes out every week, Team of the Week, limiteds, wildcard Wednesday, stuff like that. Then the other one, the one that we're doing right now, is going to be Copper drop for the team standouts that came out. There's 32 team standouts, one for each team. What we're going to do is we're just going to go look at each of these cards. As you can see, I was just looking at this guy. We're not going to go in any specific order from worst to best. I didn't take the time to do that. We're just going to walk through and look at every single card. I haven't planned what I'm going to say. I'm just going to look at their stats. I know a few are really good, a few I have opinions about, but we're just going to go through team by team, all 32 teams, and talk about, are these cards cards that you should get, or are there better cards for the same value or for less value at their position in the game. So hopping into the first team is going to be the Bears. So Kyle Fuller, he was already elite, one of the few ones that already had an elite card, so his power up isn't going to be super expensive. And I really wish they would change that, man, about these cards. They would be so good, but their power ups are so expensive, and for no money spent people, that can be really, really hard to do. Looking at this card, he's a cornerback. He's actually a really nice corner. He has 90 speed, 90 excel, and then 82 man and 89 zone, and then 82 press. So this card is not a terrible card, but because of the fact that he only has 82 man coverage, and man being the meta right now, I would say this card's probably a drop. Simply because of that fact alone. If you don't run man, if you run zone, that's completely fine. Or if you wanted to use this card with the Bears theme team or something like that, he will get 92 speed with sprinter or brawler maxed out, and then +2 if you had Bears, so you'd have 94 speed. But he's got really good speed, but his man coverage is really low. That 90 threshold needs to be met. But because it's not, I'm going to say this card is definitely a drop. Bengals actually got William Jackson III, so another cornerback. He's up for 125K right now, so he's kind of cheap. As you can see, man, this guy has 91 speed. These are actually the first times I'm seeing his stats ever. But he's got 91 speed, so he's extremely fast. He's got 90 excel, 85 agility, 88 jumping. Then he has 88 man, and then he's got a lower zone on the 84 and 85 press. If you power this guy up and get locked down to tier 1 on him, I'm pretty sure he will already meet the man threshold, and he will actually have a, like, if you max out lockdown, he'll have like a 93 man coverage plus a 94 speed if you power him up and equipment. Obviously, I won't compare him to my guys because I have like the best 3 cornerbacks in the game, so he wouldn't really compare super well. But this card, man, for 125K is a beast. I don't know how much his power up selling for. But even just this card, you can have 93 speed and 90 man. So if you're running a budget squad, if you're trying to get good corners that aren't super expensive, this card's up for 125K, and I can guarantee you by next Tuesday, probably Tuesday, his price will be lower because Team of the Weeks are coming out. But also as new cards come out throughout this next week, people are on hype trains, people are selling cards. This card will be selling for a lot cheaper than he is now. Like for example, on Friday when these standouts came out, Michael Vick was selling for less than 200K. And then yesterday when I checked again, he was back up to 400K. So that just goes to show how radical the market changes when new stuff drops. So this card for 125K, if that's your budget for a cornerback, I would say you're probably not going to get one better for that price. So I would definitely say William Jackson III is a cop. Hopping into the third team, the Bills, Josh Allen. And I'm going to go ahead and spoil it. Not only do I think this card is the best team standout, I think Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the game, period. He's actually my starting quarterback. I demoted Michael Vick. I'm keeping Vick on the team just because Falcons, I love Vick, and I will pull him out from time to time to use him. But this card, he's got strong arm. I don't know why people say this archetype is terrible, but it's not. I think it's because he doesn't get hot route master. But as you can see, he has 82 speed, 93 throw power, and then his accuracy stats are decent, but they get better when you add stuff to the team, obviously, and then with his abilities are even better. So I'm gonna actually compare him to mine. I have mine powered up with stuff on him. As you see, my Josh Allen, the chemistries and stuff like that don't go to him in this menu, but my Josh Allen has 85 speed. It's a great speed. 98 throw power is what he has, and then his throw stats on that. And if you can see in the left, I have on Omaha, that's just my preference, but then I have on Roaming Deadeye and Gunslinger. On Strong Arms, Roaming Deadeye and Gunslinger are both 1 AP. Roaming Deadeye, absolute dimes outside of the pocket. Even if you're running, if you don't know with Roaming Deadeye, you let go of R2 and Roaming Deadeye will still activate. I've had some pretty nasty bombs with Josh Allen. If I can find the clip, I'll insert a clip right now of a bomb I threw in squads with a friend with Josh Allen. PA shot post. Doing it. What a dot! And then Gunslinger for 1 AP gives you set feet lead and quick draw. I don't know how it compares to set feet lead, if it's faster, if it throws them bullet passes zippier, or if it throws them slower. But it's still a very noticeable difference between him and Mike Vick. Obviously, once Mike Vick gets to an overall, I think it's 97, where you can get the Gunslinger, he's the only card I'll run in the game because he gets Roaming Deadeye too. But this Josh Allen, with Strong Arm, that Gunslinger is 1 AP, which is really helpful because it gets me abilities on other guys on my team. I think this is the best card in the game for those reasons. 2 AP total, and you get 2 of the best abilities for quarterbacks in the game. And he has 85 speed for me. Like, if he had 60 speed, I would say he's not worth it, because I think speed is valuable. But I can scramble with him. They have to put up a spy, or I can get away. And then usually people don't put their read option on conservative. So if I'm inside the 10-yard line, I can run a read option and score a touchdown. This card is super good. If you can afford him, his base card's like 175K, and then his power-up's pretty expensive as well. If you can afford him, I would say get this card because he's the best in the game. Third team we're going to be looking at, or if you're going to try to move a little fast, Justin Simmons, the only one on the market, is up for 200K right now. He's a free safety. As you can see, he has 87 speed, 90 excel, 88 play rec, 88 pursuit, 81 man, 88 zone. Definitely not a bad card, but because there are other free safeties and strong safeties in this list that we'll get to later, I'm going to say this card is probably a drop for that reason alone. Alright guys, looking at the Browns team standout, it is actually Kareem Hunt. I know most of you already knew that, but looking at his stats, he has 88 speed, 90 excel, 88 agility, 89 carrying, 85 change of direction, 84 trucking, 87 break tackle. So this guy to me looks like a good, looks like a good all-around back. Definitely looks like a really good card. 88 juke move. His spin's low, but spin is awful this year anyway. So I'm trying to find his route running. I can't find his route running on the card. Maybe you see it. Maybe I'm just blind. But yeah, I actually have no. Oh, his medium route running is a 62. but I don't know what those is. Anyways, a short route running is 69 and deep is a 56. So he doesn't have the best route running. He does seem like a very balanced back to run the ball. But again, at this point in the game, there's so many options at running back in the game with better speed. I think Bo Jackson's selling for like 200K and he has 92 speed. But again, there's also one other specific running back in this list that I think is really, really good. So for that reason alone, I'm going to say Kareem Hunt. It's probably a drop just because there's so many other running backs in the game. All right, looking at the next team, guys, the Buccaneers got Jason Pierre-Paul at left outside linebacker, and I've always loved JPP. He's a beast, the three-fingered monster. Looking at his stats, he has 78 speed, so that's definitely not terrible for a left outside linebacker. Again, I won't compare him to mine because I have insane cards at every position. But the point of this is for people who can't afford those insane cards, to find out who's worth getting and not. So 78 speed is definitely not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad, especially for a more budgety card. I'm looking at 84 strength, 87 tackling, 89 play rec, 80 block shed, not great, 81 power move, again not great, but he's got 93 finesse move. And what I've found, honestly, is that I feel that speedy finesse guys get to the quarterback more than power guys, just on my playing experience. So this card has a really good finesse move. I can't personally compare him to other cards at this position. But I think TJ Watt is like 200K right now, 220K. I actually just sold mine. It might be a little cheaper because of the new left outside linebacker that just came out. But this card for 120K, if your budget doesn't go above 120K, I'm going to say he's probably one of the best cards you can get. If you're in a 3-4, if you run a 4-3 defense, Jason Pierre-Paul is not a card you want to get. He is a rushing 3-4 left outside linebacker. So just because he's got a high overall doesn't mean you need to cop him if he doesn't fit your scheme. I actually sub my outside linebackers in at defensive end in a nickel 3-3-5. So with JPP, if your budget's 120, if you can't spend 80, I personally think TJ Watt would be worth 80,000 more simply because of speed. And I think his block shed and power move might be a little higher, but simply because of speed and excel, I would say that 80K would be worth it. But if you don't have that 80K, JPP might be a good pickup for you. All right, the next team we're going to be looking at, guys, is the Cardinals. And as you know, Kyler Murray got their team standout. This card is definitely not bad. He's got 89 speed, 90 throw power, decent accuracy stats. But again, I do think he gets escape artist as well. But again, just because of the other quarterbacks on this list and other quarterbacks in the game right now, compared to this one's price, I'm going to say Kyler Murray is a drop. Unless you love him or have a Cardinals team or whatever, I'm going to say he's definitely a drop. All right, the next card we're looking at is the Chargers, and they actually got Austin Eckler at running back. Looking at his stats real quick, he's got 88 speed, 90 excel, 89 agility, 86 carrying, 86 change of direction. So definitely not a bad card, and he actually has the archetype receiving back. So this card is very, very good, and he actually looks very similar to Alvin Kamara. I don't know their exact stats, how they compare, but being a receiving back, he gets some really good abilities for the current meta for 1 AP, I'm pretty sure, in his third ability slot. So this card looks really good. Again, I don't know exactly how it compares to Alvin Kamara, but based on what I see here, I'm going to say this card's probably a cop. All right, guys, going to the Chiefs. The Chiefs actually got L'Jarius Sneed at cornerback. Another cornerback on the list. He's up for 170K right now, and as you can see, 92 speed before powered up. Insane card. If you have a theme team with this card, and you power him up, he gets 93 speed. Then he gets 95 speed, and if you get brawler or sprinter or something, he would get up to 97 speed. I'm pretty sure that's the fastest card in the game right now. I think Dion can get to 97 as well. But 97 speed, if you have a theme team, is insane. This card is a must-get with a theme team. And even if you run 25 out of 50, one of my friends does, this card is absolutely insane. He gets 95 speed without any themes. He definitely breaks the man and zone barriers. He breaks the press barrier once he gets there. This card is absolutely insane. He is an amazing card. One of the best team standouts, one of the best defensive for sure. I'm going to say this card for you, unless you have, again, the top 3 cornerbacks in the game, this card is definitely a cop. All right, looking at the Colts, guys, they actually got Darius Leonard, only one on the market right now for 200K, so this probably isn't what he'll actually sell for. But as you see, he's a left outside linebacker, he's a run stopper. He has 85 speed, 85 excel, 75 strength, which is very great, 91 tackling, 90 play rec. And then if we look at his coverage stats, see if we can find his coverage stats. He has a 60 man and 70 zone. So this card to me might be one of the worst team standouts that came out. As you can see, He has 83 block shed, which is good against the run, but his power move and finesse move is 56 and 67, so he's never going to get to the quarterback. And his zone is a 70 and his man is a 60, so he's never going to be able to play any coverage. With 85 speed, I'm definitely going to say this card is a drop. I would not use this card under any circumstances. All right, looking at the Cowboys team standout, they actually got Aldon Smith at left end, 161K right now. As you see, he has 78 speed, which is very comparable to JPP. And he also has 93 block shed, 90 power move, and 88 finesse move, so it's a very well-rounded left end. He can get that finesse move up if you use that ability on your defensive side of the field. But this card looks really good at left end. If you play a left end genuinely at left end, actually I think this guy could work at DT because of that power move and finesse move, a decent block shed. He could definitely work at defensive tackle. If you run a 4-3 or run a 3-4, this guy definitely might be a good budget lineman for you for 160K. I know that's not super cheap, but again, their prices are guaranteed to drop within the next couple of weeks. It's going to happen, especially as more cards come out. They're only 89 overalls, but they have really good stats. But their prices are for sure going to drop here in the next few weeks. So as this price drops, maybe once it gets below 140K, this card could be a very good cop for you. All right, looking at the Dolphins, they got middle linebacker Jerome Baker, and honestly, when you see middle linebacker, you should immediately drop, because if you're using a middle linebacker on the field on defense, you're playing the game wrong. You need to be in a formation where you can sub out middle linebackers. But regardless, looking at his stats, he does have 88 speed, which is very good for a linebacker. It powers up to 89. You can get it to 91 with sprinter or brawler. So if you had him at middle linebacker, I'm assuming you would be using this card. So he can get 91 speed, which isn't terrible. But here's a problem with linebackers. Their change of direction is awful. A 77 change of direction is not good at all. You're not going to be able to keep up with routes. You're not going to be able to go to a different route. So for that reason and that reason alone, I'm going to say this card is a drop simply because he's a middle linebacker, and they're pretty useless right now. Looking at the next team is going to be the Eagles on this list. They actually got another left end, Brandon Graham. He has 75 speed, which isn't the best, but he also has 85 block shed, 90 power move, and 85 finesse move, which is very nice. If you were going to get this card and use him, I would say probably put him at a defensive tackle in a 3-4 nickel 3-3-5 because his speed isn't great. So even if he sheds against the mobile quarterback, which most people have, he's probably not going to get the sack. So I'm going to say unless you're using this card at defensive tackle, he's going to be a drop. And even right now at a price of 190K, I'm going to say this card's probably a drop. Next team we're going to be looking at is my beloved Falcons. As you can see, Calvin Ridley got their card, which I was really pumped about. I actually have this Calvin Ridley on my team. He's up for 160K right now. As you can see, he's got a very good 91 speed. With my Falcons, he gets up to power up gets him to 92, Falcons gets him to 93, and then he's actually at 95 speed on my team. So he's the same as DK for me. He's got 95 speed, which is phenomenal. It's one of the fastest receivers in the game because of my 25 out of 50 Falcons theme. But as you can see, his route running isn't the greatest. You can get his medium or deep route running up. I personally got his mid to a 90, his short to an 89, and I don't have his deep route running up simply because he plays my slot and he usually never goes deep for me. I honestly don't know why he's a deep threat. I feel like his short route running should be better. He's a very speedy receiver, but this card is very good if he's in a specific role. If he's your #1 receiver, I would say go a different route or get his deep route running up. But since he gets that 90 mid from me and that 89 short is decent, but that 90 mid breaks the threshold for me, which is very nice, and he will get another card in the future. So he's definitely not the best receiver in the game right now, but if you play him in the slot, if you get that 90 mid route running, he gets open a lot for me on slants and crossers and stuff like that with 95 speed, which kind of helps with that short route running. But with 95 speed, 90 mid, 89 short, this card was a cop for me, and if you're going to play him in the same way, I would say he's a cop for you. Next team is going to be the 49ers, and they actually got Fred Warner, again, another middle linebacker. Simply because he's a middle linebacker, 82 speed especially, I'm going to say, even though he has 85 zone, he's super slow, this card is a drop. All right, looking at the Giants team standout, they got another MLB, middle linebacker, Blake Martinez, another L for the Giants, and as you can see, 83 speed, terrible zone, decent hit power, but again, this card, because he's a middle linebacker, is going to be a drop. Next team we're going to see is the Jaguars, and the Jaguars actually got a right outside linebacker. They got Miles Jack, who is his archetype is a pass coverage. Now you see he has 86 speed, His terrible power and finesse move, again, that's not what he does. 87 excel, which isn't terrible. And then he has 74 man and 82 zone, so he's got decent man and decent zone. But again, if you're playing coverage with your backers, you should have safety subbed in. Because of that, I'm going to say that card is most likely going to be a drop. Getting to the next team, we're looking at the Jets. They have Marcus May, and this card actually looks really appealing to a lot of people because he has that 90 speed, gets up to 92 or 91 with a power up, and then 93 if you have sprint or something on him, which is a very nice card. Then he also has 89 zone, so if you're going to be playing this safety in a zone, I would say he might be a good pickup for you. But because of who's coming in the list, because of the stats that other cards have, I'm going to say this card, for my sake, is a drop because I'll take higher zone versus a couple higher speed. But again, that's just because of the situation and the players that I have on my team. Next thing we're going to be looking at is the Lions, and this is actually the other free safety I was talking about. As you can see, this card is 88 speed, 85 man, but then 93 zone. This is significant because once he's powered up, that's a 94. And if you have 50 out of 50 lockdown, his zone becomes a 99, which breaks the last threshold, gives him some sick animations, sick cuts on the ball. I actually haven't played a game with him yet, but I'm really excited to use him. He's going to be in a curl flat for me most of the time because I don't play typically deep blues or hooks or anything like that. But this card with 99 zone, he's going to jump on crossers, he's going to jump on slants, he's going to jump on corners. And with me, he's came up to a 91 speed, which is the same as Brian Dawkins. So I actually just sold Brian Dawkins. I'm in the process of selling him. He's up on the auction right now. Same speed as Brian Dawkins, but he does get a 99 zone coverage. Decent hit power too, and his tackling will get the job done. I would say this card is definitely one of the best in team standouts, and I would say he's probably a cop. Next team we're looking at is the Packers. As you can see, they got Allen Lazard, who is considered a deep threat. He has 89 speed, 90 jumping. He has 85 short, 85 mid, and 86 deep. So again, you have to choose between short and mid and deep route running. His speed can get up to 92 without any theme teams. But again, because of the other receivers in Team Standouts program, I'm going to say there's some better options, and this card's a drop. Next thing we're going to be looking at is the Panthers. They actually got another middle linebacker with Shaq Thompson. Looking at his stats, he has 85 speed, 92 tackling, 87 play rec, 89 hit power, terrible zone coverage. And at middle linebacker, they're not going to be rushing off the edge a lot. So because of this, again, another middle linebacker, and it's going to be another drop. Next thing we're looking at as we try to move faster is Julian Edelman. As you can see, he is a route runner, so he does have nice route running stats. 90 short, 88 mid, but he's only got 80 deep. But he only has 87 speed. At this point in the game, 87 speed is not going to cut it. So because of that reason and that reason alone, I'm going to say Julian Edelman is a drop. Next thing we got is the Raiders. They actually got Derek Carr, which is really nice for them. He's actually up for 100K right now, which is pretty cheap. The reason people love this card is because he's a field general and because he gets Hot Route Master. If you absolutely need Hot Route Master, then you can definitely pick this card up. But compared to other cards in this set and other sets of those cards, I'm honestly going to say Derek Carr is a drop. I don't think Hot Route Master is that important. If you do, you can cop him, but I'm going to say he's a drop. Next team we're looking at is the Rams, and the Rams got John Johnson III. He's a run sport strong safety. He has 86 speed, which isn't great, but he has 88 zone, which is nice, 84 hit power. But simply because he has 86 speed, that's really, really slow in the game right now. Not going to cut it against most teams and most people you play. So because of that reason, I'm going to say John Johnson is definitely going to be a drop. Looking at the Ravens, they actually got Chuck Clark, which again is a very, very appealing card at strong safety. He has 89 speed, and then he has 80 man and 86 zone. So he breaks the 90 zone threshold. And he actually gets up to 92 speed. So this definitely could be a good user with 88 hit power. This is definitely a well-balanced all-around card. If you like the Ravens or you use your strong safety or your strong safety just playing a zone, this could be a very good pickup for you. He's selling for 140K right now, so not a bad safety at all. So if you use your safety and you're on a budget, this is a possible pickup. There are cards with better speed though, but if you play your safeties in a zone, this is going to be a pretty great card for the price that you're going to be getting them at. Next, we got the Washington football team. They actually got John Bostic, again, another middle linebacker. Looking at his stats, 86 speed, and all this other stuff that doesn't really matter because, again, if you're using middle linebacker, you're not playing the game correctly. So I'm going to say John Bostic is a drop. Next, we see the Saints. The Saints actually got Alvin Kamara, who's up for 200K right now. This is actually a pretty cheap one. and I would buy him if I knew somebody else would buy him when I got him. But again, you see he's a receiving back, which is really, really nice. He has 88 speed, 91 excel, which is super, super good. I think that that acceleration is a little bit better than the previous running back that was a receiving back. I don't remember who that was, to be honest. But an 86 change of direction is definitely not bad either. My friend actually has this card, and he played really well when we were playing squads. So definitely a good card. I would actually say this card is the best budget receiving back in the game, probably. You know, Reggie Bush has his card where you get the 1 AP backfield master, and that card's just insane. But for a budget, this card is definitely a very, very good option if you want to get that ability. And in this meta, I would say it's probably very, very crucial to get. So Alvin Kamara is definitely going to be a pickup for you if you're on a budget and you really care about having that backfield master. Next, we're looking at the Seahawks. This is probably one of the most hyped up cards, and for very good reason. DK Metcalf. He has 92 speed, powered up 93 with Brawler, fully maxed out. He's got 95 speed on my team. I actually have this card on my team. His only issue is you have to choose between short and deep route running. For me, I chose short, and here's why. Because he is a physical and he isn't a deep threat, he actually gets route technician for pretty cheap. So his short route running is up past 90, but if you didn't know, route technician gives medium. If you don't meet the thresholds of 90 for medium and deep, route technician gives you those animations anyways. So even though he's not at 90 mid, 90 deep, he has route technician on my team, so he still gets those animations. Very, very good card. Highly suggest him. He's definitely not a budget card though because of how good he is. But I don't have a budget team, and he's actually my number 2 receiver. Might even be my best one, to be honest. Next thing we see is the Steelers. As you can see, they got Mike Hilton, slot receiver. He's got 88 speed, 89 man, 84 or 89 zone, 84 man. I think his man might be able to hit 90 on the dot, but again, I think there's other cornerbacks that are better. So unless you're running the Steelers theme team, I'm going to say Mike Hilton is a drop. Next team we got is the Texans, and the Texans actually got Benardrick McKinney at middle linebacker. And again, middle linebacker, I don't care what his stats are, he's going to be a drop for me until I see some insane golden ticket type players. Next up, we got the Titans. They actually got Kenny Vaccaro, and he's one of the cheapest ones right now for 95,000 coins. 86 speed. Then he only has 77 man and 83 zone and 91 hit power. So this card definitely isn't the best. If you like Kenny V, you can get him, but he doesn't have really standout stats, so I'm going to say he's probably a drop. And last but not least, we have the Vikings, who got Eric Kendricks, and I said not least, but he's probably one of the least because, again, he's another middle linebacker with not so great stats. 81 speed is absolutely terrible. It's the worst of all that we've seen, and because of that reason alone, I would say this card probably isn't even worth picking up for pretty much anyone, unless you're a Vikings theme team and just need the chemistry from him. But this card is absolutely terrible, one of the worst ones to get, and I'm going to definitely say he's a drop. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for the video. I'm really excited to get this out, to edit and get it out. If you would, please give me a like, drop a comment, let me know if you enjoyed it or some ways I can improve the channel, and subscribe, because it does take quite a while to edit and put the clips together and stuff like that. So please do that if you don't mind. Hopefully I'll be able to get this out to you today, but if not, being Sunday, if not, you'll be seeing it on Monday. So hope you all have a great week. Hope you're all enjoying Madden right now. I actually just got a brand new monitor. I don't think it's going to change the way that the video looks on your screen, but it changes mine for sure. So anyways, drop a like if you enjoyed it, leave a comment down below, and subscribe and tell your friends about it. But other than that, I'm Winfrey, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.